Okay, welcome to episode 4 of the Sisterhood Across Seas podcast on education. In this episode, we're going to talk about environmental education and how our schools contribute to raising awareness about sustainability. So,
I think the general question to begin the podcast should be, does your school actually do anything connected to environment?
Mine
um,
surprisingly does.
Okay, I'm surprised. I'm really surprised by the answer, so go on.
Okay, so in my school we have this, I would say it's like a club. It's called Eco School, and it's not like mandatory or anything. My geography teacher is like a head of that club. So in that club, you just, like you can sign up whenever you want. And during the school year and even during the holidays, our teacher sends us different I would say environmental and opportunities that we can take part in. For example, in spring, there's always a cleaning of the local river, and you can sign up. And each year, I would say there's like around at least 10 students from my school, and they go to the local river and choose like one segment of it and clean it up. Because in Lublin, there are two main rivers, and we choose one of them that is closer to our school. And I would say in like April, so around the time, we go to like the nearest, I would say, segment of the river, or the segment that is most like that has the most waste near it. And we can just clean it. So it's a good opportunity to, like, raise awareness of the situation regarding environment in Lublin, and how bad is it sometimes. And also we have this subject called environmental science and societies, and it is part of the IB program. And as the name says, it focuses on environment and sustainability. So in those classes we cover different topics from like air pollution or overall pollution to structure of different environments. So yeah, it mainly focuses on environment and sustainability. So taking this subject, and obviously it raises much of an awareness about the issues over the world. We do not only study about the local issues, but we use case studies of places over the world. I mean, for example, I've studied a case study about Mexico and Mexico City and its air pollution, or the most polluted river that is in India. So yeah, I'm like switching the countries in each unit that we cover. And also in terms of environment and sustainability, I've done a project about local environment of Lublin. In this project, I focus more of a scientific side of issues of environment, and I had to smell all the waste containers. Yeah, it doesn't sound really pleasant. It wasn't really pleasant. I had to do it in, I think it was July, so it was really hot, and the waste smelled really bad. It was fun.
So that's great. For example, my school, I think they are the best example of greenwashing. Really. So for example, we have those recycle bins. And that's obviously the bin for glass, paper, plastic, and so on. However, it might sound great, but what's a clue that there's only one bin? So everything is mixed there. So you are actually putting it in a good place, but it's all mixing. So it just looks great, but has actually nothing in common with what recycling should be. And for example, also we have an amazing geography teacher who is skeptic to everything connected to global warming. And that's bad. Like he's sharing many fake news about global warming, about like all these things connected to that. So like I have to disappoint our listeners that not all schools in Poland are so environmental friendly. And also, I think there are actually any initiatives making to increase awareness about this topic. So my only experience like connected to these things probably is from like English or German lessons when we did some project about it, like just to expand our like vocabulary or something, and there were some conversations about it. So actually, that's it. But luckily, there are students that are more into this topic. So they are, for example, taking part in this climate movement, Fridays for Future. So that's great. And there's, I think, also some like events, like we did school secondhand, where you could like just bring your clothes and others could buy it. Like it wasn't that successful as it could be, but it happened. So I think it shows that like students really see how like necessary it is to care more for the environment. So that's great. Like, unfortunately, the school isn't taking part in it, but maybe it will change.
I think my school is actually pretty, I think, good. Like a lot of the students are like really into environmental and environmental issues, and um, most of the schools I think have like a green club, and they do a bunch of like activities and stuff related to sustainable practices. Specifically like yeah, there's also clubs. Those clubs they specifically focus on trash sorting, like you mentioned, but they actually do like sort the garbage correctly, like compost, recycle, and then just trash. So yeah, I think there's a really big emphasis on that. They have also transitioned to like less plastic in the cafeteria, like less plastic like utensils and stuff. Um, yeah, and they have like the last school I was at, they actually have a garden. They have a garden at the back of the school, and they use like they collect rainwater from the rain, and they like grow actual vegetables that they actually cook during like the cooking classes and eat, which is pretty cool. Um, yeah, the school district like they actually implemented like energy efficiency programs. So like lights, like before they turn on, they have to like make sure that there's like a person in the room. And like there's, I don't really know how it works, but they did something to like less, so that there's less electricity being used. Like I think I searched up like 75% of the schools in the district collect um food waste for composting. And then they also implemented like more efficient like plumbing fixture and water cleaning procedures to reduce water usage by 30% since 2006. And we also have the largest solar energy capacity of any school district in Washington state.
Yeah, so when you talked about like your cafeteria and the fact that your school is reducing the amount of plastic, so what I have to also mention that, for example, in my school we don't have cafeteria. We have got like catering and everything, like every day, like you can just order online the food you want. So like it's done by I think almost like 50 or more, even more students like every day. And every day this food is coming into plastic boxes with plastic knives and forks. So yeah, it's also a big like scene in our school, I think.
Now that you mentioned that in your school you are growing vegetables, right? Or something like that. Yeah, I remember that in my primary school students do the same. I think it was done even before the COVID, but we have a little bit of land next to the school, so younger students decided to create a little garden with flowers and vegetables, and it's really fun. So I think it also like teaches you like environmental awareness, but also like responsibility regarding, like care for the plants and everything. And I think that in education of younger children, it's really beneficial actually.
Yeah, in my primary school, we also had something like that, so I think it's common. And that was great. Like, we were going there during our lessons to learn how to do it, to learn about those vegetables. And yeah, that's like a good memory from this time. So I think what we can say that definitely in Poland, there is not like obligatory to learn about environmental issue. And it's just a school decision or teacher's decision to learn about it, to make something with it. And honestly, I think it shouldn't be like that. It's like a pretty important topic. And yeah, it's pretty like one of I think most important thing in like right now in the world. So we should focus it more, and we shouldn't like give the school chance not to do anything or to do this greenwashing like in my school. Like it should be obligatory.
Yeah, I think that, our Ministry of Education is currently focusing more on updating the curriculum from like academic side, but actually I would actually like them to also focus on environmental sustainability side of the education, not only like on books for the Polish lessons or something like that. Because, in some schools, as in ours, there are some mentions at least of environmental sustainability. But I think that in those schools that are less developed, the teachers do not even think about mentioning those topics because they think that, like if it's not in the curriculum, why would they do it? They don't need to do additional things. So there's no need. And I think that Ministry of Education should put more focus on that because, like all those politicians and everyone talks about the need to do something with global warming and everything, and they don't even care about introducing this issue into schools. And everyone is talking that younger generation is the future of our planet and everything. But if younger children or overall younger students do not learn about it in schools, then the probability that they will do something more about it is decreasing.
Yeah, and I also think that we have like a different perspective on the topic because we are all living in a big cities and in like definitely in like Wrocław. That's one of the biggest city in Poland. There are many events connected to like climate change. There are many climate movements like those Fridays for Future, and the awareness actually among like citizens it's big. There are also many second hands and so on. It's just like popular to go to second hands or so on. And I think that's also have like impact on like our perspective on this topic. And I think when you are living like in a small city and you don't have this perspective, it might be like even like worse. So the topic might not really be mentioned in school and might not be mentioned, like out of school life because you just don't see it in your surrounding.
Okay, I think that's the end of episode 4. This episode we focused a lot on environmental issues and what schools are doing in our different respective countries to educate students about environmental issues. Talked about specifically the benefit of sort of more hands-on experiences with sort of more environmental topics like creating a garden next to the school and the importance of educating younger students on environmental issues because it's really the future and it's a really important topic for the future and for now. We hope you enjoyed this episode. This is the last episode that we're doing together, but we're gonna have individual episodes where we're gonna talk about other topics in education.
Yeah, it should be top secret, but when you mention it, those who like listen all podcast or episodes, you will know it probably faster. But we hope you enjoy all episodes that we did together. And yeah, we can, I think, invite you to our Instagram to check some sum ups we will do for you. We'll also try maybe to give some extra knowledge there that we weren't able to mention on podcasts.
And I think that's it. I mean, I hope you enjoyed our conversations, our ramblings about education stuff, mostly our, struggles and challenges about educational systems. So yeah, obviously we invite you to our Instagram, and you will probably already find our separate individual episodes also on Spotify.